Hello, everybody. Welcome to the third final hour here of Once Upon a Game. We're playing Microscope Chronicles, and we have been chronicling a sword, a mythical sword, the Betrayal of Osiris. But really, it's all been about Intef. Let's be real. Yeah. Okay. So the first hour here was Umbra as the focus, or as the lens, and then Brad was the lens, and now Robert gets to be the lens for this last part here. I'm okay with probably not getting a chance to be the lens. I play this game enough. I'll be okay. But I always want my players to get a chance to do some stuff. It's the life of the facilitator.
Yeah.
Okay.
I pick a focus. I think
Yes,
I have one.
Yep. Okay, cool. What is
My
it?
focus, it's the sword changing hands.
Okay.
Good.
Oops. Okay.
No.
I think we both tried to correct it at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. The sword changing hands. Now it's your turn. And just if you're paying attention for the earlier rounds, you can go ahead and either create an event and then nest it in that as a scene, or create a period and nest it in that as an event.
Okay. So I'm going to make an event under the first period, the Upper Kingdom.
Uh-huh.
And that is a priest stealing the sword from the temple and using it to declare himself the first king of the Upper Kingdom.
Okay, is this event light or dark?
This is light, actually, I think.
Okay. And this is done from the perspective of Atef, the High Priestess.
Right.
So what do they know this? Is this priest Atef, or is it someone different?
So this is her cousin.
Okay.
And his name is Senetsomed. I'm sending it to you.
And gotcha. Okay. Cool. And did you want to do a directed scene inside of that?
Yeah. I think so. It's not the stealing of the sword itself. It's the moment right beforehand where he's Snetsumed is arguing with Atef about what they should do with the sword. Atef wants to keep it locked away from the people, knowing that if someone had this sword, like a sword of the gods, that they could claim.
Yeah.
And
Bad news bears. Yeah.
And Senetsumed doesn't want it for power. He wants it almost in that kind of Prometheus way. Like, this is the power of the gods. Like, the people deserve to have a king who has the power of the gods on his side.
So what's the question for the scene?
Yeah. I think the question is, I think that, like, we'll do a very simple one. Like, do the people deserve to have the sword's power?
Okay. And this is dictated, so you have to answer it.
Yeah, and the answer is yes.
Okay. Is this light or dark? After this argument.
I mean, it's not. Like, I think it's light. Like, it's very much Senetsumed, like, really driving home the point of, like, we live in darkness in comparison to the light that we can bring with this sword.
Okay. That comes to me. The sword changing hands. I'm going to do a event under the haggle of 1850. I'm going to call it the French Connection. And it's dark. Specifically, I think that one of the reasons why England was able to get into where they were going to get the sword is through relying on the French, who were left over from Napoleon or whatever, and having some insider connections. Like France had control of Egypt for a little bit, right?
I mean, they had control of like Algeria for a long time.
So like France. So I feel like there's like a French influence around here at this point, and I feel like Benjamin was relying on some things of the French here to get their stuff. However, he ultimately gets betrayed by them for the glory of France, and so for a brief moment, the sword is taken by the French allies of Benjamin.
Okay.
And it's dark. That's my turn.
Okay. Yeah. I think I want to do a scene.
Okay.
But I'm not sure where. I think it's gonna be a scene under Carrot's son taking an Egyptian tutor during the assimilation.
Okay. Oops. I know what I'm doing.
It's all good.
So let's see. I think because I want to see it. I want to see what the interaction is here, like what this is like. And I think the question I want to answer is how will Carrot's bloodline stay connected to Onuris's? How will these families be linked?
How Carrot's family is linked with the Egyptians?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's also good.
I mean, it's the same thing. I think I just rephrased what you said, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
It's the hard part of when you have someone translating your thoughts into a punchy, brief sentence. So, okay.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna require 3 characters. I'm gonna require Carrot. I'm gonna require Carrot's son, and I'm gonna require Onuris.
Okay. So it goes to Brad first.
Okay. I think I'm going to immediately be a spoiler and not play one of the required characters. I'm going to play a servant of Carrot who is I think that she'll be wet nurse to Carrot's grandson.
Can you repeat that, dude? You blanked out for a second.
Oh, okay. She'll be the wet nurse to Carrot's grandson.
Okay. Robert.
I will play. I'll play Carrot.
Okay. Demos. I'm gonna play Carrot's son.
Okay.
Huzzah! Leaving you with Honoris.
With an Eris, indeed.
Okay. And where's this taking place? Where's this scene taking place?
I think. Let's see. Okay, yeah, let's go. Let's go for the appropriate thing. This is going to be at the same place as Intef's talk with Unas and Unas Ra and Pentu. It's going to be at that very same riverbank, I think.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Okay. I dig that.
But at this point, like there's. I think there might even be like a city on the other side here, like the beginnings of one at least. It's like we see like wooden huts and tents.
Yeah, like temporary housing and stuff.
Yeah. And this is where the Canaanites live. This is where Honoris has come like with the sword to switch sides to Karen. Or this is like they're part of like some sort of delegation probably. And Honoris has the sword. He's some sort of like champion of the Egyptians.
Okay. All right. Now we do what we're thinking, right? So the question is, how are Carrot's families? How is I'm not sure. Carrot's families linked with the Egyptians. Carrot, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking. So the question is, how are they linked, or how will they be linked?
I think it's how are.
Yeah, like on the grand scale of things.
Okay. I think Carrot's very interested in the sword. Onerous is like displaying it, I'd imagine. Like,
yeah,
Carrot's very interested in the sword. It's like that's our link. Like that's the way that we can. Yeah.
I'm gonna take the opposite as your son, and be like, this is a mistake. These people are not to be trusted.
Okay, I think Honoris feels that these Canaanites are uncivilized roots from the north, and they need to learn our traditions if they're going to live here.
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. And,
Brad, you might be muted.
I was sorry. I think that first off, I need a name. Hashet. Hashet is thinking that the Canaanites can be brought to become less brutal by by softer means, by cleverness rather than uh, outright resistance.
Okay.
Okay, so I mean, we've probably like arrived at the House of Carrot. I think this might be like the only more permanent place here.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is something that has a more solid foundation. This is something that the candidates are clearly intending to be here. And I think this is something that we've seen the ruin of this place in the background of previous like later scenes.
Oh yeah. Of course.
We haven't been like giving context for it until now.
Yeah. Totally.
So we're in the House of Carrot, and I think Onuris is we see them around. I think there's I'm picturing like a large fireplace at the center of this place.
Yeah, like a big fire, like a big fire pit.
Mm. Yeah, and I think what Onuris is doing is teaching the Egyptian language to Carrot's son. So we're like starting to learn how to communicate.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that Carrot is like he's directing his like servants to like for the meal and for the like because they for the feast that's gonna happen because you guys are visiting or like they're here, but he's keeping like as he's directing like all he's watching is this interaction between his son and this man who is building this connection. This like he's watching his son intently.
Okay.
And I think that Hashit is holding the grandson and she's positioned herself so that she can hear the interaction between Onuris and Carrot's son, but is on the far side, so she'd be out of the range of hearing of Carrot himself.
Okay. So I think, I mean, like, I if we need to start somewhere, like, I feel like, the son here. I didn't give them a name. I don't want to keep saying Carrot's son, right? 1 second. Let me bring up a list of names, not English names. Let me look up Egyptian.
Carrot and his son Thomas.
Here we go. I mean, I'm just gonna give him an Egyptian name, even though they're Canaanite. I'm sorry. Latif. And I think we see Latif being frustrated as all heck about the about having to do all of this.
And I think like upon your frustration, like as you're getting more and more frustrated, like you feel your father's like hand on your shoulder. And I think he speaks in, I guess maybe I don't even know. I wouldn't imagine he knows Egyptian. He would say to his son, like, "This is the cost of rule. It is hard."
Why do we have to even come here?
Do you see that sword in that man's hand? Or on that man's belt? I don't know where.
He's just waving it around.
Yeah.
Now this is a sword.
Oh, jeez. Right.
Call this a kopesh.
That sword is has power in this realm.
How does a sword have power and not the mind? I'll never understand these people.
They are a simpler folk than we are.
Yeah, and I think we was sort of pan over to Onuris as he's like just sitting there and like looking at the two of you bickering. And I think he's thinking something similar to himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like these simple folk and their like brutal language from the. I'm not sure if we'll ever be able to understand each other if we stay this separated. I think at that point he does like take the sword out and like puts it on the ground between them. But I think he notices that they're looking at it. Is this what you want to know? And he's like saying it like loudly and very slowly, like try to get like Latif to understand. This is like a phrase that they repeat. They probably like said the words of this phrase during the evening. But like now he's like saying.
Oh,
as
context. Yeah.
Like is this sword what you want to know about?
But is he saying it in the Canaanite language or Egyptian?
He's speaking Egyptian.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's testing to see if Latif can understand him.
And I mean, I don't know what the proper response is, but I feel like I do, because like I understand this now. Like, I understand how important this is, and I go, like in a defeated way, I say the right thing, right?
Good, very good.
Hachette very very quietly whispers to the grandson both phrases.
You're saying it both in Egyptian and I guess Semitic is like the language.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Or like
Say that,
Hebrew. Yeah. Semitic is the group, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool.
I like that as the like. I think that's a connection. I think that's the link.
Yeah, like we're both starting to understand like the power of the sword, and like I think the moment of connection comes when Latif sees how much veneration Onuris has for this sword.
And respect, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Being like,
Yeah,
and
and I really just. Oh, go ahead.
Like this is like the Ring of Solomon. This is the crowns of all. This is an object of power, and if you hold this, the people will respect you.
Yeah, like when you do that, it becomes very clear, right? Like, oh, I was wrong in a big way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is also like the first time Onuris sees this happening in another person. Like he knows that this thing is a big deal, but to him it's just it's a national artifact. But now, like, wait, maybe this sword like does have power. Maybe there's something I can do with this. Maybe I can be king.
Maybe. Just can't wait to be king, right?
Indeed.
I can dig that.
Yeah. So I think the link between the two families is the sword. The power of the sword. And I think the sword changing hands here is metaphorical. It's no longer the sword of a soldier. It's the sword of the king. So it changes what role it has in society.
Oh, totally. So it's no longer the this is
Yeah,
just
because
yeah.
Yeah, because we answered the question earlier if the people deserve the power of the sword, and I think until now the people have had the power of the sword.
But is this light? So it's right. I imagine it's
Mm.
light, right?
Yeah, this is like
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
this is the sword becoming royal again.
Yeah. Cool. Brad.
Oh, yeah, I need to do a thing, huh?
Hmm.
I think. Well, I think it's kind of late in the day to do a new period. Um, let's. I think during the let's do an event during the trials of the Earth. And this is uh, uh, okay. So I think that a great rainstorm causes erosion that unveils a tomb that had been hidden before, allowing Senate to recover the sword that had been lost again because it keeps on going in and out of possession.
Yeah, so this is before our last event.
So it would certainly be before Intef saving Unes at sea.
Yeah.
Because logic.
Indeed, because he has the sword at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. So, are we saying this is light or dark?
Let's call it light.
Okay.
Yeah, and remember that Intef is the anchor for the trials of the Earth.
Yeah.
So is
Okay. So maybe
is this on
it's,
the
maybe
on
it's Intef who first notices the revealed tomb.
Okay.
And is this light or dark?
Still light.
Okay, that's right. Okay. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, back to you, Robert. Once again, as the focus or as the lens, I keep getting those things mixed up every single time I play this game. You are the lens. You choose the lens chooses the focus. You have the opportunity now, as wrapping this up, you have the opportunity to do a double tap if you want to, just like you did your first time. What do you choose?
I think I'm going to add an event at the very end, the last bookend.
Okay.
And it is I'm going to find a name for him. A descendant of I'm actually going to say a descendant of Intef.
Oh, okay.
Visits the museum. Amon, Ammon. Amon the black cat.
Yeah.
notices the sword in the museum.
Oh my god. So is he also then is Amon also the anchor?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it just makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Normally I don't want to lead being like, oh, that's the anchor, right? But in certain cases, sometimes it's like obviously. Okay. Cool. Do you want to do a scene in that or?
No.
Okay. Then it goes to Brad. Brad, you get to do the last legacy.
Oh.
I mean, that sounds like a movie.
Yeah.
I think it is the new Uncharted game.
Yeah. The last legacy.
Let me see. I think that the I'm trying to find a good way of putting it, and in concise enough terms. But I'm thinking like the sword the sword is harbinger of revolution. Like there's all these colonies that under British command, and the retrieval of the sword sort of coincides with colonies breaking away from
Rule, right?
yeah,
Occupation.
yeah. And I think the timing is ahistorical, but
That's fine.
yeah.
Well, it was lost in museums and maybe gets lost again, right? So, not too worried about it. Okay. So does this go after? Well, is this?
Well, it's
How-
a legacy, right? I mean, it's not a
Yeah.
an end.
Well, the legacy. Well, what I'm thinking of is. I guess I'm jumping ahead. Yeah. Okay. Right. The sword precluding revolution. Right. Other words.
Not sword presaging.
Presaging is the better word. Yeah. Revolt. Okay. And where do you want to put that? What is your event or scene about it?
I think I guess just like I'll go with a narrated scene, and it's the in a cafe in and I guess the question is will Egypt remain under British rule? And what we see is a British man sitting at a cafe in Cairo, looking at a newspaper that says newspaper article talking about the find of the betrayal of Osiris, and as he reads, he hears a bunch of gunshots and looks up, paling. And the answer is that yes, there
Revolution. Yeah.
there will be revolution.
So the question is, will there be revolution? Right?
Yeah.
Is this light or dark though? Right.
From my perspective, I call it light.
Yeah, that's the only perspective that matters in this game. So
Your perspective, Brad.
yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
Guys, we played Microscope. I'm gonna zoom out to show this is a game in 3 hours. We made 4 additional periods, tons of events and scenes, a lot of scenes this game. I don't remember playing Microscope with so many scenes before.
Yeah, I think we were pretty tight with them. Like they got to where they were going in a pretty straightforward fashion. Like there was it wasn't like simplistic, but it was it wasn't meandering.
Yeah, we were pushing pretty hard at like making sure that you're always trying to address the question is the most is the next hardest part about Microscope, other than obviously the hardest part is scene framing and it's asking the question, and then the next part is that. But we got a little bit of time, so like I want to just ask you guys real quick, like what you thought of Microscope, specifically maybe explore, that kind of stuff. What do you think? It's like weird, right? Like it's as far as role playing games go, it's like a weird game.
Yeah, I actually having played Microscope, I really like the addition of like an item, because I think I'm a big fan of like limitations on creativity.
Me too.
Pushing creativity.
Constraints are great.
Yeah, constraint. And one of the things that makes Microscope kind of a hard game is that it doesn't. You have to create your own constraints a lot of the time, and this addition of having it to have to be about an item and kind of forcing it to be about people who have the item I feel like is a really good constraint on top of Microscope.
Yeah, it helps tie the theme together more tightly. And yeah, I still love the game. Still, particularly just as I think it shines. In some ways, it shines best as world building for other games, but it's not. It's still really nice to play it on its own, where you don't have to fit it into something that's pre-established before sitting down.
That's a really good point too. Like I've never played Microscope properly with like a goal of making a campaign from it. Although if I've mentioned it several times, being like, oh, this is totally something you can do. I've just never really done it yet. So I would be really interested in seeing what that looks like.
Yeah,
but
same. And yeah, as someone who hasn't played Microscope before, but I've read it a bunch of times, I really like what Chronicle brings to it. Like you said, that was I think the constraints add a lot to the premise. I think they further the creativity a lot. I personally, I really like the anchors as a thing. Like that each period is always about a person.
Yeah, that has a perspective. Yeah,
in a sense, it's always through the lens of this person. I really like it as a whole. I think we end up with a lot of interesting parallels all the time because we stick to these themes, and I think that's probably the strongest point. I think the palette is really good. I think that's something that more games should do.
There's rarely a game that doesn't get benefited by a palette. I did the palette for Olympus Overdrive. I throw the palette into almost every game I do.
Yeah.
especially for like a campaign thing. It's just really it's a really good thing.
Yeah. Crucial both for both parts of it, both that people get to explore things that they're excited about and know what everybody else is excited about, so you can introduce those things. And it's X card without having to actually play the X card.
That's kind of a good way of putting it. Like, especially because like you'd have to co-opt the use of the X card in a weird way, and so it's just like really glad that we don't have to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, I think that makes it like I hardly have to use the X card in a game that has a palette because I've already kind of implicitly stated.
Yeah, like this is the sort of thing that I want to see, and this is the sort of thing that I don't want to see. So this is like built into the game itself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I do like the themes of the game become so very strong. Like this was very clearly a game about family. In a
lot of betrayals.
Yeah, a lot of betrayals.
Yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm always a fan of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so I think almost like, because like we have a really solid story here. Like, I mean, looking at this, like there's like this is the most solid game of Microscope or anything like this that I've seen, where there's just consistent themes and things getting called back to really tightly bound. Like it happens in other games, but it's often shoehorned in. Like, oh, let's call back to this, but like there was stuff that like we couldn't help but tie together.
Yeah, there's one thing in particular that I noticed at the very end. Look at the last scene of the first bookend, and then look at the last scene of the last bookend. Do the people deserve to have the sword's power, and will there be revolution?
Sorry, I didn't move that over far enough. Yeah, it's literally revolution. Yeah.
It's just always there, and it's just
it's a really cool
ties back together.
It's a really good point. I freaking love Microscope and what its potentials for things. And this was a really good one. I really liked how we ended up just focusing almost entirely on the ancient days, which is totally cool. Like that's completely fine, right? We also only had 3 hours to explore all this amount of time, so you just end up focusing on what you want to focus on.
Yeah, like had we had another hour, I would have loved to dive into the Haggle of 1850 and like what the present is like, and maybe like even go in between there.
Yeah, I feel like the more you play Microscope, the more you get into a rhythm of being like, okay, we're hitting this thing a lot with something that we're interested, but then just occasionally just throwing in new like threads or strands that are out there to be like, okay, let's explore this other thing. And because then sometimes, especially if you can tie in that new thing with the old thing, you're like, what? Explore. And it's that's like almost the entire game is just doing this little like feedback loop of that's interesting, I'm listening, interesting, what, that's out there and amazing, okay, let's go to it. Yeah, right. And then sometimes you'll throw stuff in there and it will just be dead, like no one's interested in it, and that's normal. Like that's just, you just have to follow, and you play what's interesting.
So I think that's something that would come with practice. Like I think we picked up a bit of pace as we went along, for sure.
Oh, definitely. So, yeah, okay. I mean, that's all I got for us tonight. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and playing Microscope with me. So that's super
Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
thank you. Thanks everyone.
Umbra, where can people find you on the internet?
Hi. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter at DealerUmbra, but then mostly on other people's stuff. In about, let's see, just do some math, 13 hours, I'll be on that guy's channel, or wherever he actually is. Brad will be doing something. Not sure if we're entirely decided just yet. Yeah, but we're Fate of the Worlds is on our summer break, more or less. So we're doing stuff to I think we're exploring some different systems. So we'll see where that journey takes us.
Cool.
And then on Saturday, I'm in a lovely game of mobile Frame Zero Firebrands called Love and Banterville. You can find on twitch.tv/Kelsa
Yes.
where we did this thing where we only play for about an hour or an hour and a half each week, and just really focus on the character scenes and like developing our relationships and like seeing the world change. So that's been very fun. I think we have maybe like 1 or 2 episodes left before we hit our massive
Kinda
ending
like,
climax, and
Yeah.
it's really building up to that. So that's something that I'm very happy with personally, is how that's worked out. It's been beautiful. So that's at
excellent.
7 p.m. Central European time, which is 10 a.m. Pacific on Saturdays. And right now, that's me. I've ideas for personal streaming, but I haven't found the time yet. Working that out.
Finding time is really hard. Turns
Mhm.
out. Turns out finding time is really difficult in life.
Yeah.
Scheduling.
Indeed.
So
So that's me.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me today.
thank you.
Playing this wonderful game.
RP Glory. What about you?
So you can yell at me on Twitter at rpglory.dotcom. You can find me live on Twitch at twitch.com/rpglory. That's RPG LORY. And at on YouTube, you can find archives of my stuff at YouTube/C/rpglory. And thanks for having me on. It's been a blast. It's been too long. I have very much
Way too long. Yeah.
very much enjoyed it.
Awesome. Yeah. Cool. So thank you. And last but certainly not least, Demosthenes. My good friend Robert. What's up?
Yeah, so I've been off the internet for a while. You can find me on Twitter at Demosthenes with underscores. I am trying to get back on the internet. I should be on this show more often. I'm trying out some other things, and I may be releasing
The suspense.
so look out for that. We are currently.
We didn't.
What was the thing?
Your internet failed on you when you said
no.
that.
Oh no! Oh,
It said A, and then it just hung, and
okay.
because you're on the
I'm-
wireless.
Yeah, I'm a noob. I should be releasing a podcast, D&D podcast, in the next couple of months. We're currently just waiting for 2 of the players to get married so that they can get a bunch of recording equipment.
Typical.
Yeah.
The typical role-playing game problem of waiting for friends to get married to get their cool stuff. Yes.
Yeah. So look out for that. I will be posting more as we get closer to releasing.
Awesome. Great. Cool. And of course, I'm Eric. Vulgaris is my channel. I do a lot of stuff on other people's channels these days, but stay tuned here for Tuesdays, which is Once Upon a Game, which is what this is, and Sundays for Burning Crowns. Everything else, you can follow me on Twitter and see where I'm at. I do a lot of mouse guard with people, as well as tomorrow I'm producing the Misclick show Risen on twitch.tv/D&D, which is really cool. It's really nice to hang out over there, and it makes me want to play D&D again. You know, it just makes me want to play D&D.
Don't do it.
And I know, but I got to. It's I want to
Resist this
add
temptation.
armor classes though, and move and 30 feet movement and conditions.
Just play stars without
grappling.
lumber.
Right, display stars. Yeah. So that's the thing, and yeah, I'm look forward to other things. I know in the future I'm gonna have a couple other things. I know I'm gonna be doing. I'm gunning to do some more Blades play testing and stuff like that. Like I absolutely want to do more Band of Blades after playing at GoPlay, and I know Strauss is working really, really hard, and his game is freaking amazing, guys. Like, and everyone is just. The game's unreal. It's dark fantasy XCOM in the best possible way. It's so good. I never knew I wanted it until I played it, and now I want it real bad. And as soon as he's done with the GM prep for that, we're doing it right. So as soon as they're done, which would be like September, then we're out of here. And poor Exploding Dice, who just decided to host me while I'm literally wrapping up in the last part. Oh no, guys, so sorry, but we're just finishing up here. We're playing Microscope, and so thank you guys so much. Maybe watch the VOD. Microscope's a fun game. We want to ever do world prep and world gen, which we were talking about for the past 10 minutes. So take care, everyone. See ya, and I'm gonna throw this over to my auto hosts. So take care. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.